Hey, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Artist Abstract. I'm your host. Let's get right into it. So, it's another week. We're like looking at 72 days until we go back to Japan for our 4.0 trip. Today, I submitted the budget to my friends. The total came out to about $5,082 for the entire trip. 11 days, 3 cities, that's some food, trains, transportation, all of that. I'll show you the budget listed out, in detail in case you guys are thinking about traveling to Japan and booking your own trip. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the budget and ideas that went behind that. So when I look at booking a trip, one thing that I consider is how much time can I take off. It's incredibly hard to get like 2 weeks off paid vacation. So I try to book at least at around my 1 week vacation and maximize the weekends so that I am booking as long as period of time and as much paid time as possible. That being said, then I start looking into breaking down the cities I want to go to, the distance, time, and travel. So I always start off in Tokyo, and then I go to like Kyoto and Hiroshima, but this time we're going to go to Kyoto and Osaka, and then back. So, planning it, you really got to look at what are the things you want to do some research on whether you want to go shopping or the cultural sites and everything. And so, like, one of the goals was to learn the technology that I have to cover this. So, I'm going to show you this Canon. This is my Canon EOS R6. It's got a 24 to 105 millimeter lens. The thing about this is that it's a mirrorless Canon. It's a new generation, and I love it because it takes such crisp photos, but it requires a bigger ring. So you have to get an adapter to use my favorite Canon camera lens, which is the 24 millimeter wide angled. I'm still debating on whether to take it, but that Canon 24 millimeter wide angle lens adds so much weight to this setup because right now I'm rocking the bottom detachment, which has the dual port batteries and extended grip. It's got a really cool set of dials on the top, on the bottom, so that you can easily switch and still not lose the versatility of it. So this is one of my favorite cameras. I've had Canon for a long time, and I started off with the Rebel. I think it was like the Rebel TI3 when I went to France, and it took great pictures. I'm just stepping up my game and seeing what I can do with this. There's a lot of functions on here, a lot of dials, manual settings, aperture settings, recording. I'm still learning on how to do most of that with this. So I will jump into that at a later point and do a full tutorial breakdown of me and the Canon EOS R6. So, in other aspects of getting ready for this trip, some of the things I talked about in my first episode was losing weight, planning the best trip possible, and learning some conversational Japanese. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Life happens, and I lost all my progress and weight loss. I'm back to 270 with, like I said, 70 plus days. So we're going to pivot and we're going to attempt to lose at least 20 pounds in the remaining period of time and go forward with that. As for my conversational Japanese, I've been picking up bits and pieces of different sayings and phrases from some of the YouTubers that I've been watching, and learning some of the things that are changing in Japan, like the open container laws and just how to navigate like from the airport into Tokyo. I mean, I'm already good at getting in from Narita into Ueno Station. It's just that there are some new things, like we're going to be able to get our IC cards or our Suica cards, so that's really cool. Because my friends, they run Android phones, and Android and Suica do not mix on the platform for digital copies or the cardless forms on your phone. It's just seemingly straight up for the Apple phones. Now, there are workarounds, the Android phone. For one, you actually have to buy an Android phone in Japan for the Suica card to work, or at least I'm told. So there's that. The other thing of it is that it was a busy weekend. 4th of July happened, and we got busy with family events, family in town. So I ended up spending time with them and doing family things. So some stuff got put on the back burner. But we're doing really good since last week we were short by a day and got it out on Monday. And we're definitely getting this out on Sunday. So that's really cool that we're staying consistent and doing big things. So for the week ahead, what we have left is planning the rest of the trip. Got the Tokyo portion down really well. Now I'm left with the Osaka version and the Kyoto version. I'm going to show you and break that all down to you too in a very clear and concise way, along with the budgeting in a later episode. But I am going to show you some of that budgeting now and what it means to book a 11-day trip. So let's get into that part. Okay, so now that we've done the budgeting of the trip, let's look at some fun-filled video that I have prepared for you of Japan and getting ready for our 4.0 trip. So I will close out on that note and leave it there and enjoy. Thank you. And none of this was sponsored, so the Canon that I use and everything else is right now my personal preference and my personal choice of using it. So enjoy, and I hope you guys book your trip soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, Japan 4.0, Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. So the hotels I have listed out in order from where we'll be staying first to last. We always stay in Tokyo first and last because there is no way I'm going to do a whole bunch of shopping and then carry it to the next cities, especially when like the bullet train has limitations on the size of luggage that you can carry, and I'm not carrying all that stuff with me. So it's just easier to buy the essential things that like the once in a lifetime items that you find in like the cities that you go to, and then return to the main city and do all of your shopping before leaving. One cool thing too is I booked a hotel in Akihabara. So our exit strategy is that we don't have to hurry or rush across town, because rushing across Tokyo can get a little complicated sometimes, especially if it's during rush hour. So by staying in Akihabara, we can just take the Yamato line up to Ueno Station and then the Kaiser Skyline back to Narita and fly out. So the Millennial Shibuya and the Millennial Kyoto, those are capsule hotels. I've stayed at both of those before, way awesome places. The Loft in Osaka and the APA. I have stayed at APA chains and they are fantastic. But I can't really say yet on the Loft Osaka Dojimon. I think that's how you say it. But I'm excited to experience both of them for the first time. So as for the internet, for directions, I always get the Wi-Fi box or the portable Wi-Fi. I do this because I hate running a dual SIM card, or I hate changing out my SIM card because it seems like my phone never works right without its quote-unquote brain. So I just find it easier and less of a hassle to have the Wi-Fi box, because I'm also using my laptop and I need internet connection. And for one thing, using the, as I call it, the mother box from like DC's Justice League with Doomsday. So I'll call it the mother box. I use the mother box, to use it on my use the internet for my laptop, and that way it's a secure connection, or more secure. And it also is essential when I'm roaming the city, using Google Maps and other things like social media and platforms to be able to do live streaming or to just comment and post awesome pictures and videos. So I have listed the bullet trains by destination to place and the skyline from the airport to Tokyo and vice versa. I have those numbers laid out on what it roughly costs each of us to book a ticket on the bullet train. So, and then following up with the planned outings and costs, I looked at different things like going to Tokyo Tower, Skytree, I also looked at going to Team Borderless, the Aquarium Museum in Ginza, and a few other stops that I'm just going to pay for outright. Oh, Shibuya Sky is one of the things we're going to go to too. And so it's just easier to buy the tickets on my phone and pay for them and have like a bulk set of money set aside so we're able to buy it for all of us. As for the Metro and the Suica card, this is our public transportation. So the way it works is you load your Suica card, either a physical copy or physical card or one that you download on your phone, and you tap it when you enter the station, and then you tap it again when you leave, and it automatically deducts the amount that you cost to go X amount of distance on that line. So if you were to take the Yamato line and then tap in, tap out, and then take the Ginza line, you tap in and tap out again. Super cheap, super effective getting you around the city. So since we're not flying out of my hometown, we're actually going to Denver to fly out. I had to book a driver from my hometown to Denver and then vice versa. So we're going to split that and give them a generous donation amount of money to do that for us. One of our biggest expenses was the ticket. We're going to fly Air Canada out, and we go from Denver to Vancouver, Vancouver to Narita. Cool thing about it is that flying back, other than landing on the American side without the A&W that serves breakfast, you get to declare in Vancouver instead of having to declare in Denver. Saves you a little bit of time, a little less of a hassle. So there's that. And then we each decided that we would take $1,400 for 11 days. So a little bit over $100 a day to spend on food and trinkets and stuff. So my motto is that I try to be thrifty in the first half of the segment, and then when I get back to Tokyo, I like to buy stuff. So I try to budget myself to have as much money as possible to come back to buy whatever I want. That way, again, while I'm there the first couple of days, I can window shop and just shop around and see what I want and then start budgeting for those items. So, and then you have the breakdown of each of the costs all together. And so roughly $5,000 is what it costs to go on a trip. Now, if I was going by myself, I probably could stretch out a little further because there's a lot of things that just don't interest me. Some of the museums and such, I like to shop. I'm a shopper. So, and I like to just sit and watch. So coffee shops and shopping is my thing. But, you just got to figure out what your thing is and kind of plan accordingly and around that. So I hope that helps you with planning for your next trip to Tokyo. Okay, so now that we've done the budgeting of the trip, let's look at some fun-filled video that I have prepared for you of Japan and getting ready for our 4.0 trip. So I will close out on that note and leave it there and enjoy. Thank you. And none of this was sponsored, so the Canon that I use and everything else is right now my personal preference and my personal choice of using it. So enjoy, and I hope you guys book your trip soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. whoa, hold on. Before you go, I wanted to show you one more thing I almost forgot to share with you, and that was I got my suitcase out of storage. So, without further ado, here it is. This is my Matchbox suitcase that I take on all of my trips as my carry-on. It's within the regulations of fitting in the oversized bins, so I don't have any problems there. And one of the key things to going in trips is that you get usually one check on a backpack. So you get a check in, a carry-on, and a backpack. So the gimmick is that I also carry extra bags, because once you're through that, then you can start buying more stuff and filling up a duffel bag, and then you can check your Matchbox, the duffel bag, and still have your backpack plus the one that you checked in at the gate. So you've got technically 4 bags that you can check in at the cost of none. So yes, this one was the first one I bought when I was in Japan for the first time. It was not big enough when I came home. I had one heck of a time getting it closed along with my backpack. So I was excited, to share it with you. You can definitely tell it's mine with all the Hello Kitty stickers on it. One thing I recommend is making your suitcase distinguishable, taking pre-pictures of it, so God forbid, knock on wood, it gets lost. Doesn't get lost. But if it were to happen, that they can easily distinguish it and find it. I also put Apple AirTags in them so that I know where they are and I can help them find it more easily. So that being said, thanks for hanging around for this last part. I'll let you go now, but thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you next time. Promise that there'll be a lot more have happened and a lot more to report on my progress. So see you next time. Bye for now.